So, good morning, April Costa Rica team. I am Millie. I am one of the founders of The Leap, and together with our merry little team here at The Leap, help coordinate the adventure which you are about to embark on. So, the purpose of today is to get you organized, is to rattle through your itinerary, accommodation, your food, your flights, the activities, insurance, phones, what to pack. Okay. So, what we want to do is to get your expectations aligned. And by the end of this chinwag, you're supposed to feel fully equipped to pack and know what's coming along. Okay. So, to make it the most effective, it needs to be interactive. So I'm going to rattle through each stage, but at when I've completed like the itinerary, there's going to be time for questions. So, and if I don't stop, just stick your hand up and I'll stop rattling on and you can ask away. Okay? So if you don't understand anything or you want to know more, grab my attention, give me a wave, and ask the question. Okay? So let me just get the team list up for April. Okie dokes. We are on 21. We've got one space left. 21 of you are heading off with 1, 2, 3 boys out of the 21. Well, boys, there you go. Who knew? So that is the that is what the team looks like. You're all on your gap year, so you're all at the same stage of life. Most of you from England. We've got two coming from Germany. Welcome from Germany. And Imi, who's joined, we've got, I think, coming from Sydney, but you live in London, so you're English. Everyone else is from the UK. Okay, so great. That is the team. Hold on, we've got somebody else arriving. So your itinerary. The itinerary is set into 4 clear phases. Okay, so you are all going to arrive on, we've got all your flight details, so that is fantastic. Thank you. We're going to set up, so with regard to the flight, we're going to set up, if we haven't already, a WhatsApp group. Now, I know that doesn't really get going and people kind of get a bit shy and intimidated and think, oh, I can't be the first one to start chatting, but just be that first one. Start chatting, and especially when you get to the airport, check yourselves in and go through passport control and then meet up at the other side inside Heathrow. Okay, so meet inside there and then you'll all travel out together. If you're not on the team flight, it doesn't matter. You are all, regardless of what time you arrive, going to be met at San Jose Airport by our lovely team. And you will all congregate at the Rosa of America Hotel, which is about 15 minutes away from the airport. So it couldn't be easier, regardless of what time you arrive. Okay, so your first night is going to be in the Rosa, which is one of those typical Costa Rican hotels. It's kind of wonderful. It's got lots of little kind of rooms dotted around a pool and a garden. And it's going to be your first experience when you wake up with jet lag about 4 in the morning. The noise of the birds is going to literally blow your mind. It is so noisy. I remember myself thinking, what is going on out there? And it is just like, welcome to the tropics. So that will be your first experience. You're going to get up early because you'll be up early. And the first day is going to be trundling down to the west coast. No, we showed, yeah, the west coast down to Quipos, which is going to be phase 1. This is where you're going to be based in the finca in just outside Emmanuel Antonio National Park. And this is you're all in this finca together. It's your kind of team bonding kind of first 5 days where you're gonna bond, get to kind of the team dynamics, get into their groove, whilst you do a couple of days helping the community centre with this wonderful fishing community we've been helping for, well, since COVID now. It's like, God, how many years is that? And they love the leapers coming through every single month. The kids really look forward to it. They love it. There's always so much to do. You've got a wonderful guy there who organizes everything, and it's from painting to maintenance to playing with the kids, you name it. You'll be doing it. So it's kind of get your hands dirty couple of days interwoven with adventurous days taking you into the national park, trekking in, hiking through Emmanuel Antonio, and also another day doing the waterfall hike, which at this time of year, the waterfalls they're just beginning to kind of boiling up because you're not in the rainy season, but the rainy season, the waterfalls are still looking good. So that will be lovely. So that's phase one. Okay. Then you're going to move to phase two, which is Natura Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, this is your challenging phase. This is the phase where everybody in retrospect goes, Jesus, that was hard. But, that's it. Got to have a little bit of challenge within this 4 weeks. It can't all be cushy. So you're going to go into Natura. It's inland, it's hot, it's steamy, and you're going to be getting up early and feeding the wildlife. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. There's loads of jobs to be done. The food is basic, the accommodation is basic, and yes, you're going to grumble, but you're going to embrace it for me because the jobs need to be done. Okay? And again, it's very bonding as a team as you grumble together, thinking, Jesus, have I really got to get up at 5 in the morning? Yes, you do. Okay, so that is your Natura phase. And the food is basic. You're going to be living off pinto and beans, and there's nothing you can do about it. You've just got to embrace pinto and beans. Then, when you think, oh my God, I am so hot, I need to get out of here, you're going to be taken out of there and you're going to go up high into Monteverde, which is the cloud forest. Here, the climate is cooler, it's breezier, there's big views, and this is your third phase, which is the adventure phase. Now, Monteverde is famous for its cloud forest, and the cloud forest is exceptionally beautiful. And it is very different from Antonio Manuel National Park, which you experienced in day one, which is kind of secondary, almost primary jungle. So you'll see the big difference. So in the cloud forest, you're going to be doing the hanging bridges. You're going to be exploring it for all its environmental glory. You're going to go whip out one day to help with a reforestation project and learn and see, what that looks like on the ground and the kind of difference they're making, which is kind of spectacular in, like, wow, these people will definitely go to heaven because they are making such a difference. So you'll see that. But at the same time, every afternoon you will have free to do the crazy stuff, such as zip wiring, bungee jumping, horse riding. If you want to go coffee tasting, all those types of things are on offer. Now, they are all optional extras and you don't need to do any of it, but I would highly recommend doing the zip wire. Yes, it's one of the biggest zip wires in the whole of the world. And yes, it is jolly high. But if I can do it with my bunch of friends, then you can definitely do it. Okay? You've just got to hold on to your underpants and just go with it. Okay? Because, yep, it is scary, but it is exhilarating. So definitely do that. And I'll come back to the costs and everything towards the end. Then from Monteverde, you're then going to go down to Santa Teresa. So that's for about the last 12 days of the itinerary. Now, Santa Teresa is the hub of all operations. Santa Teresa is like the Ibiza of Costa Rica. It is super cool. It is full of glamorous people wafting about with yoga mats and surfboards balanced on their heads. It's got kind of smooth bars, beach bars playing kind of, smooth tunes, smoothies, cocktails, you name it, it's all that. It is everyone's kind of fave place. Here you're going to be living at Jaquira, which again is the hub of all our operations. It's a camp which is about 10-15 minute walk up from the beach. It's fully safe. It's your home from home. You can really decamp here and enjoy this kind of lengthy phase. But it's not all relaxation whilst you are here. Whilst you're here, There's going to be a couple of surf lessons because this is what the Pacific Coast is all about. It's all about surfing, and a couple of yoga lessons for everybody. Even if you haven't done it, you've got to try it because you've got to fit into the cool groove of Santa Teresa. Okay, if you want to do any more in your spare time, that's just to kind of get you going, that it's very easy to do, to rent extra boards in your free time or do extra yoga. Easy peasy. But whilst you're also here, you're going to go out for 2 days, 2 nights, 3 days to Serenus, which is a turtle sanctuary, about an hour and a half's walk. You walk there at low tide around the beaches to get there. It's fully remote and it's utterly beautiful. This is where we hope everyone puts their phones down and really just takes in the beauty of nature. Now, the turtle season is officially over, but I've been there in April, May, a couple of years ago, and saw a turtle coming to lay its eggs. So you never say never, but as you can imagine, you can't control nature. But there are loads, even if you didn't see a turtle or an egg, there's still loads of jobs to be done throughout the year. And it's rebuilding the hatchery, taking away the sand, making it anti-poacher proof. And it's not just from human poachers, it's from usually the raccoons who love to poach the eggs. So there's lots of kind of wiring to be set up. So there's lots of jobs to be done. But also while you're there, you stay in this glorious accommodation, which is at the top, all open, great, great views. And while you're there, you're just going to learn about how this ranch has, it's a privately owned ranch, which is very different from Natura, which is a government-run sanctuary. So you'll see kind of how two different operations work. And at Serenus, they just built this, they bought this plot of land years ago, and it's all about bringing it back to nature, being really ecologically friendly, organic, and so they grow all their own vegetables. They've got chickens, and it's all very wholesome. So it's a really interesting place to be. Then from Santa Teresa, from Serenus, you go back to Santa Teresa to celebrate all that you have done before you go back to San Jose and beyond. Okay, so that is your order of events. Okay, different phases, different highlights, different challenges on each, but no 2 days are the same throughout your 4 weeks. And I promise there will be a little bit of downtime. You'll feel in the first three phases of Quipos, Monteverde, and Natura, you'll think, Jesus Christ, are we ever going to get a day off? And yeah, you get a kind of few afternoons off slotted. I think in Quipos you have one rest day. But when you get to Santa Teresa, then you officially get weekends off. You do get some time to kick back, I promise. But we like to keep you busy. Okay, so any questions on the phases so far? No? All good? Sound good? Do we get a thumbs up? Yay! We'd like a thumbs up. Okay, so that's the itinerary. Now I'm just going to describe the accommodation and the food in each phase. So phase one, the finca, super nice. Okay, it's got a pool, badminton, really nice. All your food is there. You have all your food is, oh God, I'm losing my mind. What am I thinking? All your food is available and covered. But there might be one night where you will want to go out to Quipos and to have an early supper there because it's fun. And I would highly recommend you do that. So that is extra. When you're in Natura, all your food, when you're in Quipos, the food is nice. It's a mix of kind of Western food and local food. So it's a full-on mix. When you're at Natura, I'm telling you now, it's pinto and beans, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you've just got to grin and bear it. And I don't want to see on the form, nobody told me it was pinto and beans, because I'm telling you now, that's what you're getting. Okay, then when you go to Monteverde, you're going to get breakfast and lunch included, but suppers are not included. And this is when you can start going out and about. And Monteverde is sweet little town. It's small, it's cozy, but it's got some great places to go and eat of different price levels. And Kira, who I think is going to be your guide, will guide you as to where to go. We'll come to the costs at the end after this because Costa Rica is expensive. So you need to take direction, but you're out every night. When you get to Santa Teresa and you're in Jiquera, again, breakfast and lunch is included, supper is not. But when you're at Serenas, all food is included. Okay, so you're going to get a mix. So I would say half the experience, you're going to get 3 meals a day. The other half of the experience, 2 meals a day. Okay, to just kind of work that out in your head, kind of it might be a little bit less or more, but that's roughly how it will work out. So coming to costs, where are you going to eat? Okay, I'm telling you now, Costa Rica is so expensive. Okay, it is going to be eye-wateringly expensive and it's going to hurt. So you have got to be clever. You've got to work the system, especially when you're at Santa Teresa with all the hip, groovy looking people who are heading off to the sushi bars and to the cocktail bars. You're not going there, okay? You're going to the bars where they're doing, cocktails, happy hour, two for the price of one. You're going to work it, okay? So that you don't bleed out hemorrhaging cash on day one because it is so easy to do that. So ask your guides, where is the best places to eat and to have a drink? Okay, it is all there, all different price levels, out there. So you've got to be savvy. Okay. Rule of thumb, how much do people spend? I would say they probably spend an extra $250 a week when they're in the busy places like Monteverde and Santa Teresa, a bit less. Clearly, you're not going to spend anything when you're in a tour, and you're going to spend much less when you're at in phase one in Quipos. You're just going to be buying the odd smoothie, snacks, and maybe one supper out. So you can see, if I said budget $1,000 for the 4 weeks of spending money just on kind of smoothies and eating out, then I think comfortably you'll be covered. But in addition to that, I want you to budget for the big ticket items, which the big ticket items look like this. The zip wire, in fact, I just updated it yesterday. Okay, I'm going to send it to you. Stop me faffing around. The bungee jump is $105. The zip wire again is about $90. Tortuga, which is a really lovely boat trip which is an option to do when you're at Santa Teresa, is $105. Okay, then there's horse riding, which is about $60. Surfboards, hiring that is another about $50-$60. Yoga, $15-ish. Okay, so you can see how all that can rack up. If you're on a budget, I would budget for the zip wire. Do it. And the Tortuga boat ride. Okay, those are the two things. You don't need to do the horse riding. You don't need to do the bungee jumping. You don't need to do the bungee jumping because when you're on the zip wire, at the end of the zip wire, you can do the Tarzan swing, which, let me tell you, is utterly hideous. You climb up to a high place and you jump off. You literally free fall and then swing all over the jungle and back. So if you really want that free fall, exhilarating experience, you've got to get it on the zip wire. Just putting it out there. If any of you do the bungee jump, please, God, make sure you are insured. I know. So you'd be amazed how many people tell me afterwards that they're not insured, and that's very, very silly. So just make sure that your bungee jump is you're insured. Okay. So when it comes back to money, how are you going to, what is the best way of paying for everything? Okay. So I would take out, because it's good practice, 100 US dollars in cash. Okay? That is just a hidden little emergency fund in your bag. Okay? That's just really good travel practice. I still do that even at my ripe old age. Okay? You're going to take your normal bank card and you're going to take a Revolut, Starling, one of those clever cards, okay, which you are going to pay. And the reason, how you're going to juggle this is when you go out in the evening, you're going to have a very cool crossbody bag, okay, which you're not going to take off. So, boys, I want you to find a crossbody bag which you feel comfortable wearing, okay, out on the town. I know you, and parents, do not give them those awful money belts from the 1980s. No one likes those and no one uses them, okay? Crossbody bag, the reason being when you go out and you're having a few drinks, and if you think you put down your rucksack and it's going to be there when you've wandered off to the loo, when you come back, it's not. Okay, so you need a crossbody bag. So at all times, it never comes off your body when you're out and about in the evenings. All right, that is absolutely essential. Now, in that body bag, in that crossbody bag, you're going to have your phone and you're going to have your Starling card. Back at your accommodation, you're going to have your $100 stashed away with your bank card stashed away. Okay? Just in case you did something stupid and got that crossbody bag nicked. Okay? So you need to have a backup card at all times, backup base, because there is no post in Costa Rica. So if you lose a card, that's it. You're buggered. Okay? You'd then have to ask a friend to use their card and then ask your parents to upload money into their card. So there is always a way around this because we've experienced it a lot. So we're just trying to kind of really drill it home how best practice really works on the ground. Okay, is that clear? They occasionally, in a lot of the restaurants, they do click and go. So, Apple Pay, that does work. But again, you really want the Revolut system because then you don't get charged every time you pay for something. And there are ATMs everywhere to get the local currency out. All right, you can pay for everything in US dollars in local currency, so you'll easily work it. You'll soon get to grips with it. When it comes to your telephones, okay, so there is pathetic Wi-Fi in the finca. Okay, it's hopeless. It's not good enough. There's no Wi-Fi when you're at Natura. There's great Wi-Fi when you're in Monteverde, and there's great Wi-Fi when you're in Santa Teresa. Okay, so when you get there, your guides will take you to get a local SIM card so that you're organized. You can communicate. Now, parents who are listening to this, if you don't hear anything from your child, let me tell you now, no news is good news. If there was a problem, we would be letting you know. Okay? So what we really want is all you lot to, in the perfect world, wouldn't it be nice to put your phone down and never look at it again? But we know that's not reality. But just in case you were, happy to do that, parents, no news is good news. All right? So, last thing on my list is your packing. What you're going to take. Less is more, is the rule of thumb. You're going to need, at this time of year, it's might rain, so I would take a thin waterproof jacket. And when you're in Monteverde, you will probably want to wear long trousers, so leggings, long cotton trousers, something like that. It's not hot enough to wear not cold enough to wear jeans, but something loose. And then you'll definitely need in Monteverde a sweatshirt. Okay, I was about to say a fleece, but I so know no one wears fleeces. But you get the vibe. Okay, so I'm just going to resend after this the kit list so you can just refresh your memory of what you need. But during the day, it's kind of shorts, t-shirts, and in the evenings, yeah, you want to look nice. So I don't know, whatever you kind of wear, especially when you're in Santa Teresa. Yes, the dress, everybody does look hip and cool when they go out. Just saying. Shoes, no more than three pairs of shoes. Okay. You're gonna want a really knackered pair of trainers, which you could do your project work in and you could do your hikes. Okay. And you're not going to be bringing those home because they'll be hot and sweaty and smelly. So you just want to ditch those. But you need a pair of shoes which have a bit of a grippy sole so that when you're in the cloud forest, you're not going to slip over on the paths. So they're kind of as opposed they're a good pair of trainers as opposed to just thinking you can wander around in a pair of Converse. Okay, get the difference. You also need your trainers, which you'll look nice in the evenings. And then I highly recommend a pair of kind of sliders, Crocs, Birkenstocks, that type of thing. The plastic Arizona Birkenstocks, the best thing you could take. Okay, or a pair of Crocs, but I know no one likes Crocs, but they are so, so good because you could go in all types of terrains. You can walk for miles in them. You can swill them off if they get dirty. They're so useful. So the Arizona plastic Birkies are brilliant. My top tip. When it comes to your suitcase, please, please, please do not take a hard shell suitcase. They are not allowed. Okay. You've got to, when you look at your bag, think, can I lift it? Can I wheel it? I'm happy if it's got wheels, but it's got to be soft so that it can be strapped onto the roof of the minibus and it can be stuffed in the back of the minibus and squished in with the other bags. Okay. So yes, if you're taking a bag which has got wheels, it usually has one side which is firm, but then the three others which are soft and squishy. That is fine. Okay. So promise me none of that high-tech hard shell bags. Not allowed. A day rucksack is very useful. Your crossbody bag, essential. Other essential things, water bottles, hats, sunglasses, essential. Okay. When it comes to health and safety, okay, this is my final thing. Health and safety. The biggest problem you are going to have is dehydration. Okay, because you are going to be working in the heat and people do not drink enough water. And in addition to your water, I want you to take some rehydration tablets and get into the best practice of having one in the morning and one in the evening. And that keeps dehydration at bay. And dehydration looks like this and feels like this. You first get a headache. You then wake up and you feel a bit fluey, a bit achy. Okay, they are signs of dehydration and it is dangerous. Dehydration really, really can get bad very quickly. So the guides will be on you. Have you drunk enough water? Nag, nag, nag. But you've got to take responsibility. So I want a dehydration tablet in the morning and the evening, and you can get them from any supermarket. They come in a tube like the Redoxon, different flavors, and you just drop them into your water bottle morning and night. Really, really useful. The other thing that people suffer from is a basic cut, basic mosquito bites. Not that you're really going to see many mozzies, they're not really a problem, but just insect bites in general. Don't scratch them. Any cut, because you're in the tropics, can get moldy and infected pretty quickly. So you've got to keep an eye on it. So again, in your first aid bag, have some Sudocrem, have some anti-itch cream, something that's some antiseptic cream to keep any cut clean and healthy. Paracetamol, Nurofen, great things to always pack in your first aid bag. Now, if there was a medical problem, such as you were feeling dehydrated, cuts, you've got, sickness and diarrhea, there's clinics in close to every place that you go. If you were really ill and it was scaled up, like we had this poor chap that got really bad tonsillitis and had to be, hospitalized, there's a hospital, the best hospitals are in San Jose, which is about 3 hours away from any of the three destinations. And in Santa Teresa, it's Puntares, which is again about 2 hours away. So there are hospitals, good private hospitals, available at any point within your trip. Okay. Now, any questions on any of this that I've been rabbiting on about? All good? Makes sense? Clear? Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm now going to sound combination of a teacher and your parents and talk to you about behavior and expectations. Okay? There is 21 of you. Okay? Soon to be 22, probably. That is a lot of you. Okay? And we need you to all buy in to the respect of our leaders who are fully experienced. That if they say no, they mean no. Okay. I don't want you pushing the boundaries. This isn't like a school trip. You're not going to be treated like a school trip. You've got complete, wonderful freedom. But when it comes to drink, and drugs, there is a clear boundary. Yes, have a few drinks. We don't mind that. But don't be an arse with the drinks. Don't get absolutely wasted that you come back and throw up in someone's bag. We've seen this a million times. It is really annoying, okay? Drunken disorderly behavior. Jesus, you did that when you were 16. This is like, it's like, have a few drinks, have a giggle. Yeah, absolutely. But we're really not the type of company where you're going to get absolutely wasted and be annoying when you come back, wake everybody up, throw up on everybody. If you do that, okay, this is how it's going to work. You're going to get a finger wagging from the guide saying, you're that idiot, okay? Please don't do it. Everybody wind your neck in. If you do it again, okay, you're then going to get, you are that idiot once again. This is your verbal warning, okay? And it goes down. This is where we have to then become like school. If you do it again, you get a written warning, and that comes from me, and I'm really annoyed if I have to do this. And you will hear it in the tone of my email. This is boring, okay? I really hate saying it, telling them, and then I have to ring your parents and tell them that you've been this idiot, okay? Then if you do it again, you're asked to leave. Cheerio, we can't, because you're a threat. We can't look after your safety, and we just don't want that. That's not what we're all about. Okay? So are you all clear on the drinking behavior? Now, when it comes to drugs, if anybody is caught with drugs, doing drugs, you are asked to leave immediately. Goodbye. All right? So that is a sharp line, firm line in the sand, and there is no wiggle room. Okay? So there we go. You are a team. We do team at the Leap because I really believe in the team. I have been doing team trips since I left university, okay? And I know the power of a team. A lot of you are going to arrive not knowing anybody, pretty nervous, feeling anxious at times. And I know that. I still lead teams and I feel the same. You're going to embrace those feelings. You're going to look out for each other. You're going to immediately make judgments on each other. Oh, they're really strong. They're really confident. I'm this, I'm that. Hell, by the end of the 4 weeks, it all changes. So you're just going to go with it. Okay. The first week, yes, that's the hardest as you all bed in and find your feet, find your wing person, start getting comfortable. But I want all of you strong, and those that are less strong, take longer to come out of their shell. I want you all to look out for each other and to bring the best out in each other. Okay? Those that you think, not my bag at the beginning, will be the one that you love by the end. Okay? It happens to us all. That when you make early judgments, I love it right at the end because you think, oh my God, that note to self, I misjudged that person. Okay? So be open-minded, be uber kind, and remember, teamwork makes the trip. Okay? It is all about the team. It's not about the projects. It's not about, that's all. Yes, it's going to be fun, but looking after each other and being kind to each other and helping everybody find their stride and their mojo, to me, is the main priority. And you all have a part in that. Okay? So that's it from me. Any questions so far? No? Good. All right. Right, now I'm going to hand you over to the lovely Kirsten, who is going to talk to you about a little competition that we want to run. So, Kirsten, over to you.
Hey, hi everyone. Um, Firstly, I want to say how jealous I am that you guys are all getting to go out to Costa Rica. I miss it dearly. I did the leap in 2021. I did the Costa Rica program and I loved it so much that I then stayed on for another 2.5 years. So I'm sure you guys will love it, or maybe I'm just a Uber fan. Um, but in terms of the competition, we trialed this with the last group and it was fab. They loved it. It was really fun. Um, we are now that I've got this job in social media, they've kind of tasked me with growing our social media presence. So if you want to help me keep my job, then I would love it if you take part. Um, we want to give you an kind of Okay, so it's an Instagram competition. You get the chance to win the zip line. Now, the zip line is expensive, I'm sure. Oh, how much was it, Millie? It was,
About $90.
yeah, it is expensive. So this is the incentive, and it's simple. Basically, it's post as many Instagram stories throughout your trip as you can and tagging us where it's visible on your story. Um, you don't have to enter, but it's an easy win. You guys are going to be posting on Instagram, I'm sure, anyway. Um, I will be keeping tally throughout your trip, and I'll post kind of weekly updates of who's in the lead, maybe get some healthy competition going. And then you'll find out who's won kind of in your last week in Santa Teresa, um, where you'll be kind of paying for any extra activities that you've done. So the zip line is mid-trip in your Monteverde phase. So if you have signed up for the zip line and you have entered this competition, you won't necessarily know if you've won the competition. You might have an idea based on the updates that I'll be giving you. But it will be a nice surprise at the end of the trip to find out that you don't have to shell out $90 for the zip line that you did and you had great fun on. Um, so yeah. There are just a few things. So I'd assume maybe some of you on Instagram are private. In that case, if you do post stories, we won't be able to see it. So I think the best kind of way to go about this is if you send us a DM on Instagram. So our Instagram is theleap.travel. If you send us a DM saying zipline, I'll then follow you on the Instagram. And then once you've started your trip and you start making the posts, I'll be able to keep tally of that. Um, so, and also you have to be following us. That's another thing. So the two kind of markers are following us and when you do post the stories that the tag is visible. Now it doesn't have to be a huge leap tag across the story. It can be smaller. I'm not gonna ask you to like, brand us massively, but it does have to be visible. I don't want you to like swipe our name off to the side because, I am trying to keep my job here. So it is yeah, about growing our brand organically, as organically as I can. So yeah, I will write the Millie, have you made the group chat yet for this trip?
No, not yet.
Okay, so once you do have a group chat going, I'll put in or like a refresh of all the rules of the competition, but you can uh enter today if you want, and your first entry will be DMing us saying zipline, and then I can follow you and make sure that we do see your stories. Um, I hope that made sense. That's it from me.
Okay, wonderful. Yes, we've got to share the leap love. Okay, interestingly enough, did just quick question, and you could just did most of you hear about us through word of mouth, through friends? Yes? Yeah. So that is what we totally kind of rely on. So therefore, we just want to share the love. And if you've got any other ideas and you think, actually, I'm a total whiz on TikTok, then please get in contact with us because we can do other things, okay? Or if you're, I don't know, use something else completely we're open to ideas to share the leap love. Okay, so thank you to you all for tuning in today. Thank you for trusting us with part of your gap year. Go for it, love it, have a wonderful adventure. And if you've got any questions, get in contact before you go. Over and out from us. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.